go to the Tools panel in Illustrator and select the Type tool. Click on the artboard and create some type. Lorem ipsum, perfectly reasonable. Set the font, etc., as well as the size, all those sort of things. Once you've done that, go to the Aeg Offset. However, you need the Astute Graphics plugins for that, so you can find that in Window and go down to Astute Graphics and Aeg Offset. Please check out the website for Astute Graphics, trial versions, demo, everything. Lots of tutorials, much more. Brilliant website. However, with this, what do I do? Well, I don't want it to be filled at the moment. Well, actually, I don't want it to be filled at all. I'm just going to use the stroke. So I'm just going to deselect that. So I'm just going to make it completely empty, but I'm going to add a stroke. So I'm just going to put it to black, or it could be, say, let's red. Let's go for red. Throw caution to the wind. And you can set it to a particular size there. So it's 2 point. Now apply Aeg Offset. And you can see the effect. It just creates multiple copies. Now it does create some weird distortions at times. That's just the way it is. Unfortunately, you can't do much about that. And you can also resize it. And you can see as you do that, obviously, it improves things. So just a slight change can result in a slightly different result. And of course, you can still continue to modify it. And it's still live. So you can turn around and say, you know what? I don't want lorem ipsum. In fact, I didn't really want lorem ipsum at all. I wanted text or type, text and type, something else. So you can just type something else. And you can, of course, vary it, change around, move it around, distort it, and much more. However, the actual panel over here. So what does it do? You've got here distance. So this distance thing, you can enter, say, 300. And at that point, you'll see what happens. It extends out. It goes as far as, and I haven't worked it out, measured it, I'm certain it's true, 300. You've got here a number of steps. So if I say I want 4 steps, so you just get very few steps there. Obviously, I can put it to 50. So 50, and you can see then you get a lot more intense design. So there's a lot of ability to create these sort of designs. However, let's just make it a bit easier for it. So 20. 20 is reasonable. You've also noticed I've got easing on. You don't have to have it on. You can just, and it just becomes a more uniform. It's just uniform there. But if you want to, you can always put ease in, and you can always go that way. So just push it to this direction to 2%, and you can see it's crunched up against the type itself. Or you can go the other way. So you get around the edge, and you can create a variety of different designs just using that. You may not want that, so just turn that off. You can also randomize the distance. So you can turn around and say, look, you've got here 100, maybe make it 2. So it's just enter the right value, 2. And you can see, obviously, it's still fairly uniform. Hasn't moved it very much. 2 hardly moves it at all. But say if you put it to 50, you can then see some variation in there. And you can click the seed and it will just vary, as you see. Click there and it just modifies it slightly as you do that. Now, I'm just going to turn that off. You can also use alter opacity. So you can set it to 20%, maybe set it to 2%. And you can see it fades away from that, obviously 100% all the way down to 2%. I haven't tested it. I'm certain that is the case. Deselect that. Also, you've got this stroke. Now, I'm not using a fill. You can use a fill, of course, but I'm just using stroke in this just to demonstrate these lines. So I'm just going to go here to retain, and you just got retain. Doesn't do anything. It just creates the effect itself. However, you can go for alter color. So alter color, and you can see then with alter color, it says blend original to, and obviously balloons. You can see it's red all the way through to blue. So you can create some really lovely, nice blends. Unfortunately, it'd be nice if there was like a range of things. However, what you can do is pick from gradient. And you can see there, you can obviously create a few more variety of gradients than that. I've got sky, I've got white. Unfortunately, it's not a live preview, so you can't click it and then it actually affects there. But go for that gradient. You can see obviously the white all the way through to black. So it's an interesting feature there, but I'm just going to go blend original to. Also, you can go for alter weight. You can also have both as well. If you want to use both, it says alter both. That's another option. But here you can say, oh, you know what? I don't want it to be that. I can go for, say, 5. And you can see as you do that, obviously it gets thicker as it comes outwards. And you can make it maybe 10 and so on. Obviously you can push it too far and it just ends up being very intense at the edge here. So you've got a variety of things. As I say, you've got fill as well. You could use that as well. So once you're happy with this, once you've created your design, also another thing I haven't pointed out, these corners. Now this is quite useful because with text you can actually see it does create some variety of things. Now you can vary the settings, so put say 2 in there, or maybe put 100. Maybe put 200. And also just by subtle changes as well, just turning it around or resizing, you might end up getting a slightly different effect. It won't create these lines. So unfortunately it does create this sort of crossover bits. And also, again, you might think, oh, you know what, it's probably not that, so let's go for 10. So 10 steps. Oh, you still got that. Or maybe change the distance, maybe go for 200 and so on and so on. It's a pity that slight kink there. Not certain how to actually get, and you can see slight kinks there as well. However, there's also another option there. Oh, there's another one. So there's 3 options there for your corners. I think the rounded one is nicer, but obviously you can use the others if you want to use the others. However, once you've got this design, it's just a standard effect. So if you go here to the appearance, you can see over here, there's the appearance panel, and you've got Aeg Offset. At any point, say you close this panel, you think, oh, how do I get this back? You've gone and done some more work, you've gone off doing something else. You go back to this here, you can just click there and you can bring up the panel again. And you can continue to edit it. Maybe change it from 200 to 100 or something else. Just actually enter the value there. Oh, does do it eventually. And of course you can duplicate this design. You can always hold the Alt Option key down and create multiple copies of that design. And of course vary them separately. Doesn't have to be same obviously for each. However, what you can also do is you can expand it. You go here to the right side menu and there's a detach all selected Aeg offsets. You can use that. Perfectly reasonable. So just detach it. And if you do that, you can then see you get this text. You've got the original text there and you've got this lovely weird sort of where the text is missing now. And you can move it around if you want to do that. But also another thing is it is now available for other filters as well, other tools. Window, Astute Graphics, and go down to Randomize. That's the one I want. So Randomize, and now with Randomize there, you can actually change the color of these individual paths. So randomize, and you can see as you click there, it will randomize the colors. Now again, you might want that over the text, or maybe select both. So both selected, and then again randomize. Now the text doesn't change. To actually change the text individually, you have to select all of text and then randomize that, and you can then do that. So you can create some variation of that as well. So you can create some very interesting designs for type using Aeg Offset just with the stroke. But of course, you can also use it with fills as well. Hope you found this of interest. Thank you much.